And now, it's time for Football Talk with Shiftey.
We start off the episode with Tottenham manager Harry Redknapp, who is cleared of tax charges by a unanimous verdict, and now looks likely that Harry Redknapp will be the new England manager, and the English FA will have to pay Tottenham around $5 million to make this happen. The Football Association has dismissed concerns that it could be open to charges of hypocrisy over the appointment of interim England manager Stuart Pearce. Pearce had to apologise for allegedly racially abusing Paul Ince during a Premier League game back in 1994. It was said that Fabio Capello took his massive backroom staff with him when he quit the manager's job of England. It was also said they got a combined £1.5 million payoff to leave. Not a bad payday. Capello also stated that one of the main reasons he decided to quit was that he could not have the interference from the Football Association in his work. Capello has already been linked with a couple new jobs, one at Inter Milan and one at Russian side Unzi. But the biggest surprise is that Capello has been linked with the top job at Chelsea. Abramovich is not happy with the current manager, and Capello could be the guy that could control the dressing room. And after the 2-0 loss to Everton, looks like it could be sooner than later. Another manager who could be in line for Chelsea's top job is none other than Gus Hiddink. Dimitar Berbatov has hit out at his lack of game time and has admitted his Manchester United future is in doubt. Manchester City defender Micah Richards has been forced to shut down his Twitter account because of sickening racist abuse. Swansea manager Brendan Rodgers has signed a new 3.5-year deal to stay at the club. News doing the rounds is that Tottenham midfielder Gareth Bale will not sign an extension with the club when his contract runs out in 2015. But one player from Manchester United has decided to sign a 1-year extension, and that is Ryan Giggs. Aston Villa have failed in their bid to keep Robbie Keane until the end of the season. Keane will return to the Galaxy when his loan deal finishes. Mali has secured third spot at the Africa Cup by beating a 10-man Ghana side. Cheick Diabate scored both goals in the 2-0 victory. So that's all the news I have for you. We're now going to go into the handshake from hell. Well, it was one of the most anticipated games of the season. Liverpool versus Manchester United. And instead of everyone focusing on one of the great rivalries in sport, the focus was clearly on just one thing: the handshake from hell. Questions were being thrown out there by the media, the English FA, the players and fans from around the world. Should Evra shake Suarez's hand? Should the two shake for the sake of the game? Well, I was up and watching with millions of others. The two teams lined up and the handshakes followed. Luis Suarez was one of the last players, and finally Suarez gets to Evra. Okay, straight away I think, what's going to happen? Patrice Evra extends his hand and Suarez walks right past him and shakes the hare's hand. Evra then reaches over and grabs Suarez by the arm, which Suarez just shrugs off. My thoughts at the time were wow. Also, Rio Ferdinand refused to shake Suarez's hand after seeing what Suarez did to Evra. But then I started to ask the question myself. Should Suarez shake Evra's hand after everything that had happened? And should Evra shake Suarez's hand after everything that had happened? Suarez always believed that he was innocent, and also that Evra broke the football code of conduct that was, whatever happens on the field, stays on the field. Even as the players entered the tunnel, Evra tried to confront Suarez but was blocked by Martin Skrtel, sparking angry exchanges between the two sides. And we also heard comments from Sir Alex Ferguson calling it a disgrace of what Suarez did. But does Ferguson condone the behaviour of his own player, who celebrated right in front of Suarez when the final whistle had blown? Once again, that sparked more problems and the players had to be separated once again. Now, after the game, I had read a lot of comments in relation to this incident. Some comments were for Suarez, commenting that it was in his own right not to shake Evra's hand, which is fair enough, and others condemning him for his actions. My thoughts on this are quite simple. I think there is no place for racism in sport, but also no need for racism in the world either. But regardless of what I think, and regardless of what was said in the game that Suarez ended up being banned for 8 games, he was found guilty and justice was served. Let's not forget that. No player would take something that far if nothing derogatory was said to them. So I applaud Patrice Evra for standing his ground. But Suarez felt he did nothing wrong and stood by that. So when he got to the line, I believe Suarez had every right not to shake Evra's hand. You've got to remember, it is not in the law of the game to shake hands, it's only in the spirit. As we would all know in life, we probably won't get along with everyone in this world. So if Suarez can't stand Evra, why shake his hand? I'm sure if everyone out there doesn't like someone and that person came and extended their hand, you're not going to shake it just for the sake of it. It also comes down to what you believe in. So in that as well, I applaud Suarez for standing his ground on the situation. And also, let's not forget, as I've already stated, Suarez got an 8-game ban, whereas John Terry, who'd racially abused Anton Ferdinand, is awaiting his trial at the end of the season. So it probably leaves a bitter taste in the mouth of the Liverpool club and supporters that their player from Uruguay gets banned and that an English player gets to wait until the end of the season. But look, regardless of that, and regardless of all the politics, it was interesting to see both players hold their ground on what they believed in. And whether it was right or wrong to us, in the eyes of the players themselves, it was right for them and they believed in their own actions. So with that, I put the question out there to you guys, the viewers. Would you shake the hand of an opponent that you don't like just for the sake of it? And do you feel that Suarez's actions were right or wrong? So leave your comments. I'm very interested to see what you guys have got to say about it. So that's all I've got for you in that. The handshake from hell. We'll now go into a few transfers. So here it is, and here's the latest transfer news going around. And we start at Bayern Munich, where I brought you the news of Basel midfielder Xherdan Shaqiri going to Munich for a medical. Well, I can officially say that Shaqiri has now signed for Bayern Munich on a 4-year deal set to be worth around the 10 million mark. Spanish giants Real Madrid are ready to make the first move for Arsenal captain Robin van Persie. Van Persie even stated in the Spanish paper Marca that he would be excited by a move to Madrid. Arsenal are considering re-signing former midfielder Matteo Flamini from AC Milan. Flamini would be available on a free transfer. Man City could be ready to make a bumper offer for Athletic Bilbao's hotshot Fernando Llorente. Wesley Sneijder has admitted that he could leave Inter Milan at the end of the season, with Manchester United a possible destination. Rangers look set to re-sign veteran striker Daniel Cousin. And that's it. That's all the transfer news for you, and that's the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page for all the stuff that didn't make the show on Football Talk with Shiftey. And last but definitely not least, you know the drill. It's grab your friends, grab your family, grab your kids, head down the park and kick a goal.